When 22-year-old Jean Rohe was chosen as a student speaker for the commencement at New School, she planned to talk about communication, education, bravery, and the power of music. Her dismay upon learning that John McCain would be the commencement speaker prompted her to reconsider her planned remarks. New York's New School attracts a liberal student body. She believed his use of the venue to herald an eventual campaign for president and promote a war she staunchly opposed was as appropriate, she later claimed, as fishing in a swimming pool. Hearing that his speech would mirror the one given at conservative Liberty Baptist University induced her to research the previous address. After reading his speech, she selected, as she put it, a few particularly loathsome sections and began planning an attack against him using his own words. At 2 a.m. the morning of the commencement, she rewrote her speech. On her way to Madison Square Garden for the ceremonies, her nerves and queasy stomach did not weaken her resolve. When the time came, she arose and delivered a short but eloquent speech that would ignite a media frenzy and fan controversy for some time to come. Not a political figure, Rohe grew up singing and performing folk music with her family. Her education began at Smith College, but her love of music brought her to New School and the musical opportunities available in New York City. She coupled her performances at several clubs and musical events with instructing young children at the 3rd Street Music School. Her travels to Israel, Palestine, Cuba, and Switzerland no doubt contributed to her international approach to political issues. Her commencement address highlights the importance of audience analysis. Adapting to the audience and the occasion greatly increases the probability of success for any speaker. She obviously plays to her strength with her musical introduction, an introduction that fits her message. In a real sense, Rohe does not abandon her original speech plans. Her presentation is a model of communicating with an audience. Her opponent may enjoy international recognition, but she solidifies her position by closely identifying with her audience. She celebrates her and her fellow classmates' education and youth. She rejects any claim that they are too young and too naive to understand the complexities surrounding them. We may not possess the wisdom that time affords us, she argues, but reminds her audience that we do know right from wrong. Finally, she displays the bravery that few her age possess. Wishing to endow her audience with the same bravery, Rohe reminds them, we can speak truth to power. Watch as a young unknown woman rhetorically engages a powerful and famous political figure.
If all the world were peaceful now and forevermore, peaceful at the surface and peaceful at the core, all the joy within my heart would be so free to soar. And we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. I don't know where we're going, but I know we're going far. We can change the universe by being who we are. And we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. Welcome everyone on this beautiful afternoon. Thank you. I only have 5 minutes, so I'd appreciate it if you'd, thanks. Welcome everyone on this beautiful afternoon to the commencement ceremony for the New School class of 2006. That was an excerpt of a song I learned as a child called Living Planet by Jay Mankita. I chose to begin my address this way because, as always, but especially now, we are living in a time of violence, of war, of injustice. I am thinking of our brothers and sisters in Iraq, in Darfur, in Sri Lanka, in Mogadishu, in Israel, Palestine, right here in the United States, and many, many other places around the world. And my deepest wish on this day, on all days, is for peace, justice, and true freedom for all people. The song says, we can change the universe by being who we are. And I believe that it really is just that simple. Right now, I'm going to be who I am and digress from my previously prepared remarks that I had been working on for the past several weeks. I am disappointed that I have to abandon the things I had wanted to speak about, but I feel that it is absolutely necessary to acknowledge the fact that this ceremony has become something other than the celebratory gathering that it was intended to be, due to all the media attention surrounding John McCain's presence here today and the student and faculty outrage generated by his invitation to speak. The senator does not reflect the ideals upon which this university was founded. Not only this, but his invitation was a top-down decision that did not take into account the desires and interests of the student body on an occasion that is supposed to honor us above all and to commemorate our achievements. What is interesting and bizarre about this whole situation is that Senator McCain has stated that he will be giving the same speech at all 3 universities where he has been invited to speak recently, of which ours is the last, those being Jerry Falwell's Liberty University, Columbia University, and finally, here at the New School. For this reason, I have unusual foresight concerning the themes of his address today. Based on the speech he gave at the other institutions, Senator McCain will tell us today that dissent and disagreement are our civic and moral obligation in times of crisis. And I agree. I consider this a time of crisis, and I feel obligated to speak. Senator McCain will also tell us about his strong-headed self-assuredness in his youth, which prevented him from hearing the ideas of others. And in so doing, he will imply that those of us who are young are too naive to have valid opinions and open ears. I am young, and although I don't profess to possess the wisdom that time affords us, I do know that preemptive war is dangerous and wrong, that George Bush's agenda in Iraq is not worth the many lives lost. And I know that despite all the havoc that my country has wrought overseas, in my name, Osama bin Laden still has not been found, nor have those weapons of mass destruction. Finally, Senator McCain will tell us that we, those of us who are Americans, have nothing to fear from each other. I agree strongly with this, but I take it one step further. We have nothing to fear from anyone on this living planet. Fear is the greatest impediment to the achievement of peace. We have nothing to fear from people who are different from us, from people who live in other countries, even from the people who run our government. And this we should have learned from our educations here. We can speak truth to power. We can allow our humanity always to come before our nationality. We can refuse to let fear invade our lives and to goad us on to destroy the lives of others. These words I speak do not reflect the arrogance of a young, strong-headed woman, but belong to a line of great progressive thought, a history in which the founders of this institution play an important part. I speak today, even through my nervousness, out of a need to honor those voices that came before me, and I hope that we graduates can all strive to do the same. Thank you very much.